ask yourself, why is he wearing the rally cap? Right now, the Cubs are not losing. They're not even playing. It's January at the time of this filming. But this is to stress to you that what you know about the unit circle allows you to do inverse trig functions. It's the exact same thing that you've been doing pretty much, except it's in reverse, much like this hat is in reverse. So if you can do one, you can do the other. Let's say we've got something. We're going to focus on sine and cosine here. And you may see something like this. The sine of theta equals 1/2. Okay? This is pretty much the same thing as saying the sine, inverse sine of 1/2 equals, let's call it theta. Okay. Pretty much the same thing. We're going to attempt to solve these the same way. And to do this, we have to limit the range of what our answer can be for inverse sine. And that is going to be, it's got to be between, oh, I hate writing upside down. Gonna have to do it at an angle here, bear with me. Pi over -2, and our theta is going to be there, and pi over 2, in order to solve for this guy right here. Okay? So we need to look for something on the unit circle that has a sine. Remember, sine is y. So it's got a y value of 1/2. And it's got to be between, this is pi over 2. And actually down here, if we change this 3 pi over 2 to negative by subtracting 2 pi, this is actually negative pi over 2. So we can see that graphically, our answers are going to be on the right-hand side of the unit circle. They're going to be somewhere from down here, which is negative pi over 2, all the way up to pi over 2 on top. They're going to be somewhere over here. So when I see this, I'm thinking, okay, let's check over here. Let's find something that is that is going to have a y value of 1/2. I look around, I see some negatives down here. So when y is positive, so I'm going to look in the first quadrant. I see that I've got 1/2 right here for my y, that is positive. That's pi over 6. I am good. I am set. That is what I'm looking for. So, I can say that this theta in this case is going to equal pi over 6. I just want to double check it, make sure it fits. Is pi over 6 greater than or equal to negative pi over 2? Yes, it is, because it's positive. So this one, no problem. Pi over 2, is pi over 2 bigger than pi over 6? That's just a matter of comparing fractions. If we want to double check just in case, pi over 6, we're going to have to get it to the same. This is just to check and make sure the size is correct. We're going to have to multiply it by, we're going to have to multiply pi over 2 times 3 over 3 just to get it something comparable. This is going to become 3 pi over 6. All I'm doing right now is checking to make sure that pi over 2 is definitely bigger than pi over 6. 2 pi over 2 is the same thing as 3 pi over 6. Pi over 6 is definitely less than or equal to 3 pi over 6. So that checks, that works. This definitely fits in up here. So we can say that our theta is going to be pi over 6. It fits. It is within this range. We are good. All right. Cosine is very similar. Let me flip this guy over for cosine. So if I've got something that the cosine of theta equals, let's say I need to find negative square root of 2 over 2, okay? And this can be the same thing as cosine, inverse cosine of negative square root of 2 over 2. We're going to treat these the same way, because we're going to limit our answer here. For cosine, our theta has to be between 0 and 2 pi. Oh, excuse me. I'm getting a little bit pi happy here. Thinking of dessert. It's got to be between 0 and pi. Graphically, this will look something like this. It's going to be somewhere on the top. Okay, because here is 0, here is pi. So negative square root of 2 over 2, I look up here, I see that for a x value, I'm on the top, I've got negative square root of 2 over 2 for 3 pi over 4. So my theta would be 3 pi over 4. But there's also another one here. You quite often will find two that match up. 3 pi over 4 will work, but also 5 pi over 4 down here on the bottom. Now why wouldn't this one work? This is out of our range. 5 pi over 4 is greater than pi, because pi is right here. That's why it's on the bottom. It just will not fit. It will not fit. So we can't say that this would work. We would have to go with this one up here, which is within our range. Okay, so inverse sine of negative square root of 3 over 2 equals theta. We can treat this like sine of theta equals negative square root of 3 over 2. Again, we've got to bound this with negative pi over 2 is less than or equal to our theta, less than or equal to pi over 2. We go to our unit circle, and we can find this guy pretty quick. Negative square root of 3 over 2. Well, that's just, we see 5 pi over 3. And, you know, we also do, I want to acknowledge we do see another one that might work, which is this 4 pi over 3. But we're going to see some issues with these. First of all, 4 pi over 3, remember, we're looking for something that's going to be in the right-hand side of the circle, right? And this 4 pi over 3 just does not work. It's just not in the right area. So we can eliminate that one. But this 5 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3 is going to be greater than pi over 2. So we can't use 5 pi over 3. That's not going to work. So what's the answer now, you say? Well, we like where it sits, right? This is in the right-hand side, this 5 pi over 3, but the number itself is too big. But just like with the unit circle, we added and subtracted 2 pi, added and subtracted 2 pi. We can subtract 2 pi here to give us something that's just slightly negative. So I'm going to take this 5 pi over 3, and I'm going to subtract 2 pi to try and get it to something that's within this range. So 5 pi over 3 minus 2 pi, because that's one revolution. Got to change the denominator, right? Multiply by 3 over 3. This will give us 5 pi over 3 minus 6 pi over 3. The denominator is going to stay the same as 3. 5 pi minus 6 pi gives us negative pi. Does this negative pi fit up here into our range? Absolutely. It is greater than negative pi over 2, and it's also going to be smaller than pi over 2. So our answer will be theta equals negative pi over 3. That's it. Practice these, do your best, and I know you will do